I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Nicole Sahin. She is founder and CEO at GP. Nicole, it's wonderful to have you on. Thanks for joining me on Floor Talk today.
Thank you, Judy. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. So now before we get started, just a quick note to our viewers. This interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. Right, so Nicole, tell me about GP and what inspired you to create the employer of record category over a decade ago.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been quite a ride. So I was inspired originally to start the Global Employer of Record platform, based on my experience having worked with companies that were expanding internationally and hiring employees all over the globe. And ultimately, at that time, the only way for companies to hire people in other countries was to set up a company in each country. So every company setting up a company in each country for every time they wanted to hire in a new location. And it's just incredibly inefficient. So I thought it would be much more effective and efficient to set up one company in each country and give all of our customers access to it. So what we ultimately went out and built was exactly that global legal infrastructure, fully compliant with the designed to meet the needs of America's public companies, but with software on top that makes it really easy for customers to use the platform. So ultimately what it looks like is when a company wants to hire an employee in Brazil or Saudi Arabia or China, they just log on to our platform and we guide them through issuing a locally compliant offer letter, an employment contract. But when the offer goes out to the employee, it goes from our company in that country to the customer. So to the employee. So it basically eliminates the need for a company to figure out the legal, HR, and tax issues in any country before they're hiring a global team. And as you can imagine, with the pandemic, it's just we really just found ourselves at the forefront of global remote work. And it's been an incredible time to be in this industry.
All right, so Nicole, tell me, how do you see GP powering the future of work? And what do you have planned for the next few years?
It's really an exciting time. So what do I see for the future of GP? Well, we've just launched our 3-year vision and a couple new product lines, actually. So is as profoundly, globe changing as the employer of record platform is for companies, it really just eliminates so much of the compliance requirements of them going global. There's also other things that companies need. So we just launched the first fully customizable software as a service platform for global employment. And that really lets companies hire their talent globally any way they want to. So it's whether they want to set up a company in a new country and the employer of record platform doesn't work. They need employment advice. They need HR insights. And the way we've launched it is basically incrementally. So right now we've just launched global talent insights that give our customers access to see kind of what's out there and like where the global talent hotspots are so that they know where to find their people. But really the future of work is vast. And what we see is that companies need to hire all over the world in order to get the talent that they need. We have 3.5% unemployment in the United States in what I would consider one of the worst economies anybody can remember. And what makes a company great is access to talent. And that talent now is coming from all over the world, and companies can't compete if they're just trying to hire people in local communities.
Right. So, Nicole, you were at the forefront of the EOR industry. Tell me, what has pushed you to now reinvent the industry, and what opportunity do you see for the future of the industry?
I think the reason to reinvent is again, I mean, I can't understate how much it changes the world of companies being able to hire talent globally for the employer of record platform to exist. But basically, in order to build that in a really compliant and fully automated way, it did take time to do that because the industry didn't exist and there's so much compliance underneath that needed to be figured out and kind of structured properly. But now as we move forward into the future, kind of reinventing it, it's just that companies need more and more because now it has become the norm for companies to go global. And in order to be competitive and really align with some of our key partners, which are some of the biggest payroll companies in the world, it's like companies need the whole suite of services. And not only services, it's really much more software because the vast majority of all the global compliance work that needs to be done for companies operating globally can be automated. And as related to that, we have a lot of AI that we're using in our software because ultimately all the advice that we've given our customers over the years, most of it can be automated and turned into software so that companies just have access to all of that at their fingertips. One of our core mantras is that, it's kind of like with Amazon. Nobody wants to pick up the phone and call an advisor if they don't have to. So putting everything at a customer's fingertips, making it super easy for them to work with. But because it's people that our customers are working with and they're managing their employees around the globe, sometimes they do need to pick up the phone and call somebody. And in that case, we're really, we want to make sure that we're available for our customers in those cases too.
Right. Well, Nicole, wonderful to have you on Floor Talk. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks so much for having me, Judy. It was a pleasure to be here.